You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Hamlin, and I won't have it!
What can we do for you, Jimmy?
What Chuck did for this firm, 1/3 of this place belongs to him.
If Chuck can call this an extended sabbatical, then so can we.
You know I'm going to beat this. It's time to do right by him and cash him out.
Hamlin's making you a chump!
I'm going to get better!
Chuck, I'm going under. Whose side are you on?
Law offices of James McGill, how may I direct your call?
The longer you stay here, the more explaining I have to do to Hamlin.
It's gonna be bad for you.
You
Not backsliding.
will atone!
And I bet if we were in church right now, I'd get a big amen.
I say go, 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 go!
Welcome to Cordkillers. Our mission to report the intel from the front lines of the cord-cutting revolution so that you, my friends, can watch stuff you love when you want, where you want, on whatever device you want, however you want. We don't care. You could take a cord into the belly of your breast and hug it and kiss it, as long as it gets you what you want, where you want, when you want, on any device you please. I'm Tom Merritt.
We don't judge here. That's why I'm Brian Brushwood,
doesn't.
and that's why you just saw a bit of the extended trailer for Better Call Saul. Did you notice that Bob Odenkirk walks into the room and they call him Jimmy? I feel like there's a twist. Maybe Saul Goodman's not his name.
The last trailer had that in there too. For the first time, we knew like, oh, okay, so he changes his name.
I love the idea. If you watch the full extended trailer, there are two things I love. First of all, I love seeing Bob Odenkirk play a wide-eyed, optimistic version of Saul Goodman. I also love, whatever the situation is, whatever the foreshadowing is, seeing him argue about the parking ticket with Mike Ehrmantraut working at a toll booth. It's awesome because I don't know if, because you get the impression for Breaking Bad that Mike's always been doing this. This is what he's built from. But the idea that we may get to see his descent into that role is very, very exciting. That's supposed to premiere, I believe, in February. So keep an eye out for Better Call Saul.
Joining us today on Cordkillers, a man who doesn't give a crap about Better Call Saul, Mr. Lamar Wilson. Welcome to the show.
Don't even know who that is, man.
Oh,
You will never call Saul, will you?
It was like, call Saul what? Say that again.
I'm just sitting here like, what is going on? It's good to see you all. Thanks for having me on.
So that's amazing. So you never got on the Breaking Bad wagon, as it's called.
Yeah, I didn't. I was at a point when it came on that I was watching a whole bunch of shows. That my mind has a maximum amount of shows that I can take in a given season. So I tried to watch it. I got 3 episodes in finally, maybe about a year ago, and I just couldn't get into it.
Dude, if it didn't take you from the beginning, it wasn't going to. Before we jump in, though, I do want to say it was awesome because Bonnie and I loved the entire series of Breaking Bad. Bonnie had no idea that the spinoff series, Better Call Saul, was in the works. She had no clue. I was like, hey, look, this came out. And to her, like, the dawning realization that it was Christmas in storytelling land was awesome.
Wow, it's almost like living in the 70s.
I know, right? Where you could not know a thing?
When they did a spinoff of Mary Tyler Moore and you found out when it aired.
Yes, exactly. You're like, oh my God, what is this? Or like,
what is this on tonight in the TV guide?
Enos was my favorite character from the Dukes of Hazzard. He has his own cop drama show.
After MASH, this is great. All right, let's move on to the primary target. Yesterday, a thing that might be a charade. We don't know. It's the Hollywood Foreign Press. Who are they? We don't know. There's been a whole documentary about it. But it doesn't matter because everyone loves it. The Golden Globes, and when I say everyone, I mean everyone in the industry that gets awarded. People love award shows. Golden Globes always get a lot of attention. They're often seen as a predictor of what might happen in the Oscars. And wow. Big night for Amazon and Netflix. Now, obviously, the Oscars don't recognize television, but the Golden Globes does television and movies. Jeffrey Tambor, Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical Television Show, beat Ricky Gervais in Derek, which was also nominated through Netflix. Transparent got Best Comedy or Musical Series, beating not only Orange is the New Black, but also Girls from HBO and Silicon Valley. Netflix got a win. Kevin Spacey won Best Actor in a TV Drama. And there were other things just kind of in the ambiance of the Golden Globes. Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin came up to present an award, and they plugged their upcoming Netflix show, Grace and Frankie. One of the other presenters pointed out it doesn't matter which screen you watch your show on, whether it's a tablet or a smartphone. It was like, what world am I living in? There were even Hulu plugs. I'm sure they were paid advertisements telling people to like watch the winning shows on Hulu, except not all the winning shows are going to be on there. Obviously not the Amazon and Netflix ones. But Brian, I know you probably didn't watch the Golden Globes, but I feel like this is just, the onward. It's not even a mile marker. It's we're climbing the staircase now.
Yeah, well, at this point, in so many ways, this is almost like a coronation. Like 1 year ago, the story was, oh my gosh, our original online-only content was invited to the ball. That's delightful. Look, they're almost treating us like we make as good a content as anyone else.
2 years ago, they invited the ball. Last year, they got a victory. They won. Robin Wright.
That's right. Robin Wright won for Best Supporting Actor, right? But now
Best
all
actors,
of a sudden,
Best Actress in a.
Wait. They still divide up roles by gender? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
They still divide up people that way.
What? Are you saying men and women are different? This is revolutionary.
Graviton.
Extraordinary. No, but the fact that here's to me, the bigger part of the story is not so much that so many online originals won, but weirdly that nobody's surprised that so many online originals won. That is the real story for me.
Lamar, did you watch the Golden Globes?
No, I forgot they were on. I was sitting talking to Tay Zonde in my house. I'm not
As one does.
But I'm not name dropping to say I was talking about music and I forgot TV and all that stuff was on.
So how did it go? You asked, hey, do you want to watch the Golden Globes? And he said, I don't watch the Golden Globes.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Booming voice filled your house.
That's awesome. But like I said, I did look over this morning, and I'm not surprised. I am surprised of Amazon because I didn't know they had some top quality shows. So I've been in the dark. Like I actually want to check out this Transparent and this.
Oh my gosh, dude! Transparent is I think legitimately, now that I've had time to digest it, I think it's my favorite show of 2014. I think it is the best, most expertly crafted show. And we joked about it last week because we announced that previously they had been hyping up Chris Carter's show, The After. And then all of a sudden, the moment Transparent starts winning all these awards, they're all like, what after? Chris who? No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wasn't he upset about that they weren't promoting his show? So
I mean,
it
it also wasn't that great of a show. I mean, I'd hate to put it so bluntly. It was pretty rough around the edges. Whereas
Mozart in the Jungle is the one that's getting all the buzz now, is the next big Amazon hit. I watched the pilot episode last night, and it was good. It's not nearly the same as Transparent, though.
Okay. Well, I got some new stuff to watch now.
Transparent is extraordinary. It is extraordinarily realistic storytelling with all of the awkward foibles that real life has in a very believable. The characters are incredible. It's an incredible show.
Did House of Cards get snubbed last year?
No, Robin Wright won for Best Actress.
But keep in mind
and they got
also,
a bunch of nominations too. Orange is the New Black got nominated last year, didn't win anything. Same thing this year.
Well, okay, that's good because both Orange is the New Black and House of Cards were not as good in their second season as in their first season. And to
Blasphemy.
be honest, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they gave Best Actor to Kevin Spacey because I thought season 2 of House of Cards was nowhere near as good as season 1.
Really?
Yeah, but I expect big things from season 3.
I love season 2. We're gonna have to fight later.
I just love the fact that I remember on Frame Rate 4 years ago now, I think, maybe 5. Brian and I talking about how Netflix was going to make an original show. And isn't this interesting that since they can't get great deals for current shows, they're just going to go off on their own? Isn't that interesting? A wonderful to work. And here we are today debating whether one of Netflix's original shows should have gotten an award this year, and why didn't another one of their original shows get an award this year, while Amazon had an original show that got a couple of well-deserved awards. It shows you how
it shows you how utterly dynamic this whole space is. I remember, going on a crazy rant pretending to talk like I was Reed Hastings, talking about how, hey, remember when our stock prices were over $300 and instead we made all these horrible decisions and we launched Quickster and we didn't even have the Twitter account and now we're a laughingstock of everything. Dude, who's laughing now? Those guys are back on top. Amazon is no longer the RC Cola of online content. I mean, it's amazing to see what a big turnaround this has been.
So the only one I'm disappointed in, and I mean, not to knock them because I watch them a lot, is Hulu Plus. Like, because they have originals. I love the Awesomes. I've watched one of their. I forgot the name of another one, but I would just wonder where are they? Where are they in this space? And do they need to make more original content, or are they great where they are?
I think they're hampered a little bit. It feels to me like they don't have the budget to get a House of Cards, right? To get even a Transparent.
Right.
A lot of their stuff is really good, but it's good within constraints. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a function of the fact that they're owned by television networks who are like, yeah, I don't think we want to put our money there yet. If we're going to put money somewhere, we want it to be on our main networks. I mean, the other thing I noticed, if you look at the nominations, no major network show made the cut for nomination as a best comedy series. A CW show did. So we got one broadcast show. And broadcast TV only took 2 awards the entire night. The rest were taken by either cable or internet.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Lamar. I'm not going to say that Hulu doesn't have great programming. In fact, we'll talk about what was under surveillance later. I went back and I started to watch more of those quick draw episodes. But it seems like a lot of their content is hot and cold, right? It's like there'll be little bits that you're like, that's really great. But that sort of visceral must watch, need to actually, I'll take that back because that content does exist on Hulu, but it's not Hulu originals. Like that's the way I am with The Prophet.
Yeah.
I can't stop watching The Prophet. It's tasty candy to me, but it's not an original.
And that's the other thing is Netflix and Amazon got forced into this because they couldn't get the rights to current shows. And Hulu has the rights to current shows. There's not as much pressure for them to come up with a good original because you can watch almost all the major network shows there.
This is something that Malcolm Gladwell talks about in his book, David and Goliath, where he says that in so many ways, oftentimes being the smaller, underpowered entity forces you to make riskier, outrageous decisions that oftentimes end up toppling the powers that be. And Hulu is very much, it is the definition of the establishment's position in online video space. So as a result, everything they do is very much a Goliath move, whereas it forced Netflix and certainly Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime took a major risk in investing on a diverse assortment of outrageously different programming, including Transparent, which paid off in a huge way.
Yeah.
Well, to me, Brian, this is, as we've said this before a lot of times, but it is a repeat, say, of 1990. When cable started to come on the scene and take awards away from broadcast television. It's 1990.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I know you well enough, Tom Merritt. You don't drop random numbers without them meaning something. Hold on. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to go to patreon.com/Cordkillers. Take a look. 1990? 1,990. That's how many patrons we have. That's how many bosses keep you and me employed and 100% independent. We can't thank you guys enough. Head on over to patreon.com/Cordkillers. And remember that when you're our boss, you get to boss us around. And it's fun. You can feel powerful. If you get kicked around in your cubicle, then at the end of the day, you could write a nasty letter to me and Tom saying you do or don't approve of the way we did. And we will have to say, yes, sir. We're very sorry, sir. We'll do our best to fix that, sir.
Yeah. And if you get some value from the show, put some value back into the show if you can afford it.
Mainly you'll feel powerful. I mean, it's great if you get value from our commentary. It's great if you save a bunch of money because you learn how to cut the cable. But seriously, just throw a few nickels our way and you could be over us. You could be powerful like Darth Vader with your fist. You're like, oh, next quarter I want to see more cords cut.
Consider us your 501st is what Brian's trying to say.
Okay, I like that.
We are the Vader's fist. All right, let's move on to Signals Intelligence. This is the segment of the show where we talk about the services you use to get the things you want to watch. The news hook here, Slate has a cool cord cutting tool for figuring out what the cost would be to cut the cord for you. Thanks to Lisa Bobin on Twitter for pointing this out earlier today. It's a nice little forum because there have been a ton of analysts putting out that like cutting the cord is actually much more expensive because they stack the deck in the way they calculate the numbers because it can be more expensive for certain situations. So what Slate did is they said, all right, how much is your cable plan with TV and internet? Find out how much your cable plan would be with just internet, no TV. Select the services you actually would have to add. So if you already pay for Netflix, don't click on Netflix. But if you're like, well, I'd actually pay for Hulu Plus if I didn't have cable, click that. CBS All Access, would you want that? Or do you get that over the air? Click that. So you choose which of these services, and then it gives you a result at the end and says, okay, this is how much TV and internet without streaming services would be. And this is how much internet and streaming services you'd have to add without TV would be. And it'll tell you whether you save money or not.
This is awesome.
So you didn't need this tool, Lamar, because I guess, was it this week or this month? How recently did you finally pull the cord? You ripped the cord and cut the cord.
Yeah, right before Christmas, man. Cause remember when I was the last on, I was giving you all a story about Time Warner, how I called and they wouldn't let me leave, basically.
Sure.
So what I did is I took the box right before Christmas to the Time Warner store that's here in LA, and I in the Beverly area. Walked in and got my little appointment. It took a few minutes. Told the guy, hey, I'm here to return the cable box. No hassle. Like, the guy was so nice. They even backlogged my bill so I wouldn't have to pay anything for December. Well, it was the easiest thing, and he knocked. He got me the regular price of my internet, which is like $65. So basically, I end up saving $60 to $65 now a month off cable and internet, which I would not have had if I had called. So
am I understanding right in that you tried to talk to them on the phone and you got the miserable customer retention experience, but when you showed up, box in hand, it's like they know that there's no point in fighting, and they're all like, well, just gimme.
Absolutely. And like I said, it wasn't busy or anything, so the guy could have haggled me a little bit, but he was just like, dude, fine. No, because I guess it was just the way I came in. I wasn't mean or anything. I was just like, look, take this box, man. And it was the most painless. I was out here in 5 minutes. One of the most painless experiences I've ever experienced.
So what are you using now mostly to watch TV stuff?
Okay. So I bought a new a 4K TV. I know Brian talked about this last week. He hates 4K, but
I don't hate 4K. I want it to be more than it is just yet.
Don't put words in the man's mouth.
Yeah, I bought it specifically because it was a huge sale on Costco, and I couldn't resist it. The Vizio 70-inch. So I got that. So now I'm using the internet apps on there mostly. So YouTube, Hulu Plus, Netflix. Netflix 4K looks amazing. I don't have the Amazon one yet. But those are my three primary things. And I have a Leaf antenna, which gets every major channel except Fox and ABC in my area for some reason. I can't get those.
Really? Every major channel except for 40% of the ones you care about.
Except for the two major. Yeah, exactly.
Now, Los Angeles is a sprawling city in which we both live, but neither one of us are on the fringes of it. And I get all of the channels. It's weird. I guess it's the geography more than the location.
I think so, because you use a Leaf as well, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's weird. I have tried. I got a Turk. I tried like 5 or 6 different antennas, and it's just no getting. Either if I get ABC, then I can't get NBC and CBS. So
it's the position.
I have to choose.
You need two.
But I've been really happy with it, man. It's been liberating. It's been great. I watch and I don't know if you all noticed. I watch Twitch really at night. That's my primetime TV. Is watching people play video games.
Do you notice the reduced resolution? Because Twitch obviously is not streaming at 4K or
right.
even really HD. Like, does the increased resolution of the monitor make you more aware of the pixelization?
No, it actually does a really good job on TV of upscaling that. The only time I've noticed some of the issues is like during a broadcast TV, during like a sports, when they're moving a little bit too fast. Mm-hmm. You see some of the ghosting.
The jaggies
with it, but it's very minor. I gotta say the upscaling is fantastic. I for the most part do not even notice it, and I'm not a TV file or whatever you would call that. But I have really enjoyed this Vizio 4K. I'm going to sing their praises. I got like $900 off of it, off the regular price, and it's been great.
Have you tried hooking up any other non-television device to it yet? Because I know, and separately we could talk about, Tom. A number of people sent us emails saying that finally the 4K standard got finalized by whatever the body is that does it, and coincidentally, no current television adheres to the standards that they picked. Like, does that make you want to hold off, Tom, or does that make you nervous about having bought Lamar?
No, I'm very confident with it. Like, it has the only disadvantage of some of the other, like Samsung, which was like a $7,000 TV compared to my $1,500, is that it has one 60 hertz port. And it's like, so if anything comes in the future, I can just get a little box from Monoprice and use a splitter and extend that. It's like I don't see any loss at all, because I was going to buy a new TV anyway. So I think it's a good time to buy it, and even as an early adopter, it's not a lot of content, but what is there looks great, and I'm a big fan.
So you got nothing else? What, you have a game console hooked up or anything? I
should have said that. So I got all 3 game consoles, the current gen, Xbox One, Wii U, PS4. I do have an Apple TV as well. Okay. Now for that, I have a little trick I do. Because there's a couple of TV things I want to get. Like ABC has an app, Disney XD has an app, because I watch like Spider-Man and all that on there. So what I do is I use my grandma's login. She has Xfinity in Chicago, and so I use her login to get that and the HBO. So I'm cheating a little bit, but I could do without those if I didn't use that.
Yeah, I mean, the options for ABC and Disney XD would be to, you could get some of the ABC stuff over the air if you turn your antenna, I guess, or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But you could buy most of those. You can get some of them on Hulu, right? For the HBO stuff, there's right now no other option, although you'll have an option to pay for it evenly by later this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not illegal to use her account. She's not using it. But yeah.
Well, see, this is by the way, we're gonna revisit this terminology later on, because it would technically be a violation of the terms of service, but is it
probably
illegal, in quote? Are you, quote, breaking the law? Is something that we've put out to the lawyers out there, and we'll touch back on how that went. But Tom, I understand you had a conversation with your overlords over at DirecTV recently.
Yeah, so I mean, people are gonna throw stones at us because, as Brian mentioned last week, he went ahead and got cable again because he's on a show that's on a cable network, and you know what? I think that's fair that he wants to be able to watch that show with his family and everything. That's fine. I have kept DirecTV mostly because my wife wants it. I personally try to live without it, and I use a Roku. I use an Apple TV, I use a Fire TV, I use a Chromecast, I have an Xbox One and a PS4, and I am just slowly, and a TiVo with an over-the-air leaf antenna plugged into it. I am slowly proving that we don't need that box. But one of the things that happened, I had called to cancel Showtime, I don't know, 6 months ago, and they gave me a deal where it was cheaper to keep Showtime than cancel it, so I did it. This time I was like, okay, that deal had expired. I called them up, and I said, look, I want 3 things. I want to know when my contract's over. I want to know, I want to drop Showtime, and I want to know if there are any other deals you can give me to lower my bill. And so they were great. They did all of those things. Now, I got upset because it took 15 minutes for them to pick up the freaking phone.
Sure.
And all that time, they're sitting there like, go to our website and use our website for stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you won't let me remove packages on your website. That's the only reason I'm calling you, because you forced me to do this customer retention thing. But she was really great. She's like, yeah, we can give you a discount on HBO. I give you a discount on this one other thing. And she's like, those will last 6 months, and you can get them again probably. Just call back in 6 months. Just, keep checking in. We always have discounts running. The only thing, it's on you to call us and remind us, and we can keep them going.
Dude, that's awesome. And so, like, is this part of an overall strategy to whittle down? And is it, or do you feel like
the call was just me keeping on top of, like, I want to keep that price as low as possible, because we only have it because Eileen insists that she wants to be able to watch The Walking Dead at the same time as everybody else, and there is no other way to do that than to have DirecTV. There's some other reasons too, but mostly that's the big reason. And I'm really like, once HBO is available over the internet and we can drop HBO from DirecTV, and I can prove to her, like, you're not turning on DirecTV. I mean, frankly, Sling TV does it. Because the other thing she does is she turns on things like Home and Garden and Food Network and just watches them. And I'm like, once we get Sling TV, you can do that on there too.
So everything I'm about to tell you, you need to understand is suspect, because I am now a mole for the man. I now work for the opposition. As we announced, I had to play coy for a long time when I was on vacation. Turns out I wasn't on vacation. Turns out I was working on a television show for the fantastic National Geographic Network. And I'll tell you what, man, we got 10 episodes of Hacking the System, and I'm really excited about them. Previously, earlier this year, I had recently, cut the cord. So I just watched your cable television using your Slingbox, Tom, and we did a live viewing party. And I was going to do the same thing again this year, but when I explained to the kids, the kids knew. The kids knew Dad was gone for 3.5 months, and they're all like, oh, so it's a TV show. So we'll get to watch your TV show on TV. And it's like, I couldn't say, well, no, Dad's going to watch it alone up in his studio through a Slingbox feed. It's like, I wanted my kids to have that full experience. So I signed up for full-on cable. I did not do a contract, which means I didn't get any special deal. It was $60 a month additional for all the basic cable stuff. After they installed it, we realized that Bonnie forgot to sign up for the HD package, so we did it. So it's $70 a month. We can cancel anytime. I got to tell you, Tom, I do not believe that these words are coming out of my mouth. You are talking to somebody who hates cable, who hates the bill of cable. You're talking to somebody who has had AT&T as his primary mobile carrier for 20 years now and hated every minute of it. But I have to admit that from beginning to end, the installation process, the customer service, every single thing about my experience of getting cable with AT&T has been utterly extraordinary. The guy came in, and he came in on time. He didn't do that Time Warner thing of like, I don't know, between 8 and midnight, I'll be there, give or take. He had a specific time. He called ahead. I high-fived him on his way out. I'm like, I'm going to the gym. I came back, and the guy had, like Brant Hughes, our editor, had just looked at our setup and be like, oh, no, you can't do this. And so he went and found an old hub that we had in our closet, set it all up, reconfigured our cables for everything, got everything set up, and then came in, gave the tour of everything. And there was this adorable moment as he's explaining how there are 4, they don't call them channels anymore, Tom, they're streams. There are 4 streams. The DVR is exceptional on it. I like it a lot. It's much better than, God, screw Time Warner. I hate them. At any rate, they're showing all this stuff, and Penny's like, go to January 19th. Go to January 19th. Go to National Geographic. And then there's this moment when he goes and finds Hacking the System, and for whatever idiotic reason, the moment that the program description comes up and it says Brian Brushwood is an expert life hacker, blah blah blah, my kid went nuts. Her face burst into sunshine and rainbows, and she shouted, "Brian Brushwood!" And it was probably the greatest moment of my entire life. So I don't care, even if I never get to see the show. If I die in a car wreck tomorrow, I am thrilled that I got to be there for that moment that my kid saw the DVR description for my TV show, which, by the way, January 19th, everyone set your DVRs. It's a really, really good show. 9 p.m. Central is when it's going to be on.
Now, Brian, yeah. I think you made a mistake in your story. You said AT&T was good. So can you clarify what you really was?
I mean that the American Telephone and Telegraph Company does
the same company.
The best cable experience I have ever had in my entire life. They are like, say what you will about back when they were Monopoly screwing over the man. You can read Tim Wu's book, The Master Switch, and hate them for their domineering empire-like force. There's a reason their logo is the freaking Death Star. But at the end of the day, those guys at the moment appear to have a real commitment to customer service. And I really enjoyed it. And I really love the no-pressure situation that I'm in right now.
Try to figure out if that's actually the AT&T, because they batted that name around.
Exactly, yeah. That might be singular, really.
Yeah, it's definitely not the American Telephone and Telegraph Company anymore.
Whatever. They are to me. That's that's how they send my TV show. They go, now he's hacking the system. It's Brian.
All right, so Brian, how are you going to resolve this this having the monster inside your house and still be able to talk about cord cutting?
Oh, well, luckily, Tom, we are not and have never been a show exclusively for people who hate cable. Last time I checked, we were a show that was dedicated to making sure you could watch what you want, when you want, on whatever damn device you choose.
So what you're saying is having AT&T Uverse will allow you to tell people if that is an option for being able to watch what you want, where you want, when you want on any device you please.
Yeah, look, I got to be honest. A lot of times we sell the whole cord cutting revolution on cost effectiveness, but the longer you and I are in this game, the more I'm convinced they'll figure out a way to screw us no matter what. Because I did cut the cord, and all I do is I take that same $60 a month and spend it on buying episodes of The Walking Dead and buying episodes of all the shows that the kids
I've
watch.
never personally been convinced that it was a money saver so much as it's a control. Cord cutting gives you the control over what you're going to watch. And that may end up, for some people, meaning that the cable companies feel enough pressure from these other alternatives to give you more control over what you watch, which is fine. To me, the whole cord-cutting revolution is about putting control back in the consumer's hands instead of having us sitting there like we have been up through the 1990s and beyond of just taking whatever bull crap they want to force down the tube at us and paying more and more every year from it. This is about giving us the right to choose. What do we want, this linear package with 60 channels for $70 a month? Or do we want to like just cobble together our own stuff? Do we want to buy individually? We'll decide how to spend our money, and I love that.
Yes, and real quick, Lamar, just for the record, understand, I am very aware. Somewhere out there is somebody who's going nuts, punching his iPod, saying like, "Oh, you defector schwood." That's fine. Say what you will. Understand, I am in a very particular thing. I feel very good about my experience and decision right now, and the thing I feel best about is that I ain't tied into no contract. That I'm just gonna dabble in this water. I'm gonna let my kids watch a crap ton of Disney XD and all that stuff, and then. When my show's over, I'll probably hang around through Game of Thrones, and then I'll cancel just like I always have before. So there ain't nothing wrong with that. What were you saying, Lamar?
No, I'm really glad Tom said what he said because I had a few people like, dude, you can afford cable. Why are you cutting it? What are you trying to prove? It's like it's not the money, it's the principle. It's just that I want that kind of control, and I do. I feel like if enough people do this. Then some good will come out of it later, and maybe we're going to talk about Verizon in a few minutes. Maybe some packages like that come about where they're smaller, or what you talked about last week with the it was some company that offer like 5 channels or something like that.
Yes. The Sling.
So it's 20
Sling
channels,
TV,
but Sling TV. Yeah.
I like they would never have done that had people not been defected from cable. So
I will say there's one other thing that is an emergent phenomenon that I never would have seen coming is the non-ironic fact that they offer a kids multi-view on AT&T Uverse. I walk into the room, and as if it's a real-life scene from Back to the Future 2, my 10-year-old daughter has opened Kids Multiview where it's displaying 4 kids programming stations at once. She's watching one big, and then the moment it goes to commercial, she jumps over to Nickelodeon or one of the other ones. It's amazing.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool.
I'm telling you, I feel like we're really close to being able to ditch that DirecTV box because the big thing, don't tell Eileen this. Yeah. The big moment this week is she said, "Oh wait, American Idol's on," and she turned on the TiVo.
Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Because she knew it was over the air. It had been, and she knew the season pass was still set up on that box from the last time. Just
slow and steady.
Magic. Yeah. All right, let's gear this place up. We just have a few more gear announcements from the Consumer Electronics Show to get through. So let me go through these one at a time and just get each of your reactions to it, starting with Intel's HDMI Compute Stick. It's a 32 gigabyte HDMI dongle with 2 gigs of RAM, a USB port, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth 4.0. Supports a mini USB connector for power. So it's a little bigger than a Chromecast, but it runs Windows 8.1. It's a full-on Windows machine. for $149, or you can go cheaper and you can get a Linux version for $89 arriving in March. And all of a sudden, anything you can get in your browser, you got on your TV.
So you could look at this two ways. You could look at it and say, wow, that certainly is 4 times the cost of a Chromecast, or 4 times the cost of a Fire HD stick. However, understand that it breaks. Doing this, suddenly, we've agreed for a long time that pretty much the best customer experience you can get for a cord cutter is to have a PC hooked up to your television. All of a sudden, for $150, boom, it's discreet. You don't have to have another box. You have a wireless whatever. You can play anything, watch anything. Hulu Plus, all the benefits of Hulu Plus suddenly totally free, give or take, because Hulu Plus benefits are poorly defined. I think this is huge. I think this is a big, big deal.
Yeah, the first thing I thought about when I first heard about this was gaming instantly. Now the 2 gigs of RAM kind of diminishes that a little bit.
Well, no, but for certainly for casual gaming, lately I've gotten into Hearthstone, which is a PC or tablet title. I mean, there's no reason this couldn't run great. Hearthstone on your living room PC would be fantastic.
Yeah, so that's what I see a use case for.
Also, you could cut out your Hulu subscription. Just saying.
Yeah, which, by the way, means you would pay for it pretty much in the first year.
Yeah,
just by cutting out Hulu Plus.
Interesting.
All right, Android TV is coming. This is the replacement for Google TV. It's not an evolution of Google TV. It's a whole new piece of software. We've talked about it a few times on Cordkillers. It'll be in TVs from Sharp, Sony, and the Philips brand TP Vision when they arrive this spring. We'll also see Android TV in a Huawei Media Player and in the Razer Forge TV, which does what Lamar wants, streams your video games from your desktop up to your television.
Yeah, I think this is good. I'm not a current Android user, but I am not against the platform. I say any way to make the TV smarter, where less and less devices have to be connected to them, I think it's the better. Because I want a world where the TV just has everything built in, and we don't have to have all these things connected to it. So
that is an admirable position that I do not share. I want my TVs to be dumb as a rock and beautiful. I want my TVs to be like a 21-year-old blonde, just smoking hot and dumb as a rock.
Hey, I'm right here.
Hey.
Okay, sorry.
I know. It's not 1991 anymore, but still.
It might be 1989 now. You might have lost somebody.
And then finally, the Channel Master DVR Plus. I know Channel Master is really popular with Cordkillers because you don't have to pay a subscription fee to get season passes and things like you do with TiVo. And they have added some more things to the Channel Master. There's versions that come with the hard drive built in. They've come a long way over the years. They're adding more internet channels to the program guide later this year. So they already have Pandora, Vudu, and YouTube, but now you'll be able to get the familiar grid guide, but they'll be adding more of those kinds of internet channels into there. So as you're scrolling through, you can decide, I think I'll watch YouTube right now. You can do that. There'll be other services as well.
Man, I'm so torn. Part of me thinks this is so dumb because it's such an old way of thinking, but there's something obviously sticky about that grid channel programming. It seems to me that we all like that. And also, for the record, I don't like my ladies dumb. I like my ladies brilliant and scientific.
Oh, ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't say ladies.
Oh.
Yeah. It's interesting. All right, ladies or gentlemen, you are going to want to go shop Scam Stuff. Why?
You know what? I'm gonna make a Squarespace change of plans here. If I have one coupon to ask from you, I would not ask for you to buy some stuff from scamstuff.com, although we have completely rad stuff at scamstuff.com.
You should just do it for your own benefit.
I just would love it if you would go, if you are still on cable, if you would go and subscribe.
Or if you have Lamar's grandma's login.
That's right.
Yes, if you need it, let me know.
January 19th is the premiere of Hacking the System. 4 months out on the road, years worth of effort going into it, bringing you the best of life hacking and pro tips. It's going to be a huge event. 2 episodes, 2 of my favorite episodes are going to premiere on January 19th, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Dude, just sign it up right now. Tell your friends about it. It's really cool. Here's a fabulous picture of me sawing a mattress apart with an electric saw because I'm just that tough. There's a bunch of clips up there as well I don't know if you can play any of these or not. Let's see. What's this say? Oh, is this the ATM scam? Yeah, go ahead. Click on that. Let's see this. We talk about everything from how criminals break into your house to how to talk your way out of speeding tickets. This is a clip right here of me taunting Jason Murphy about how easy it is for skimmers to rip you off by stealing your information. Oh, we have no audio.
Have some cash. Which one of these do you use?
It's the same picture.
Not the same. There's a very important difference between the two.
It's the same ATM.
Nope. Come on, you gotta pick one. The
There's
movie's
no
starting.
difference.
Come on, the kids are screaming. The movie's starting.
Fine, that one. The one on the right, that one.
Congratulations. You've
Okay.
lost your identity and all the money in your account.
Why?
All right. Anyway, check it out. January 19th. Very, very excited about it.
I am adding it to my DVR channel 276 on DirecTV.
And we will be doing a live viewing party where Jason's going to come over. We're going to do like a director's commentary where we talk about some behind-the-scenes goodness. And, I don't know, make it feel like you're sitting there on the couch with us for the premiere of this TV show.
So I want to be the Apple guy in the room. It's like, is this going to be on iTunes?
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, man, there must be a Skype hiccup. It's hard to hear you. Yeah, you're sort of cutting out on us, Lamar. I don't know what happened.
I'm supposed to watch on any damn device I please, right?
Look, man, it's so hard to hear you. All I know is that it's really good programming.
It's that broadcast money. I get it.
Yeah, you
I
like
get
Neil
it.
deGrasse Tyson? He's my co-host on the network now.
On the network.
I
like that.
Well, because you got a show on Nat Geo.
No,
right?
no, Star Talk got turned into a talk show.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, put on your boots, folks. It's time to head to the front lines.
Front lines!
Verizon CEO Lowell McAdam was speaking at the City Media Conference and indicating that the company's online video service will debut in the second half of the year. So we'll get a Sling TV competitor for sure. Probably going to get Sony's as well. Verizon's service is going to focus on mobile and wireless. Why? Well, McAdam said, quote, millennials are not signing up for 300 channels that they have to sit in front of a TV at 8 o'clock to see a certain show. Our service is probably going to be a 20 or 30 channel offering, and the content that we see will be very compelling.
I mean, doesn't it kind of sound like you said, hey guys, Sling TV, ditto. Just get ready for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
or
much.
it could be Convergent Evolution, where they both kind of hit on the, what, we can only sign up 20 or 30 channels? Let's figure out how to make that sound like an advantage.
Yeah. Lamar, are you buying it? Are you in?
I wouldn't be in. No, because I don't like Verizon like that. So, it's just personal.
You like Verizon, but you don't like Verizon?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not willing to get into this kind of relationship.
All right, what about David Cross? You like Mr. David Cross of Mr. Show and Arrested Development fame? He showcased his movie Hits at Sundance last year to mixed reviews. So on February 13th, he'll distribute it as a pay-what-you-want BitTorrent bundle. Understand that's a new product from BitTorrent, not just regular old BitTorrent Pirate Bay style. The first feature film distributed as a bundle. He's also launching a Kickstarter for mass distribution for $100,000 to get it into theaters and do marketing for pay-what-you-want theater showings.
So not just to get it into theaters, he's going to rent the theaters, just like Veronica Mars.
He's four-walling it. Yeah, that's basically like which is kind of great because it's a throwback to the old Circus Carnival days. Just show up and my guess is he'll probably do a series of public appearances to really blow it up. You know, Kevin Smith did that. We'll take an extension on this. He did pretty much that with Red State, and I believe he had personal appearances for Tusk as well.
I know he had some personal appearances, but I don't know if there was a theater rental for Tusk. Was there?
No, I don't know. That's me speculating wildly. It's what I'm best at, Tom.
All right. That's cool. Do what you're good at. I like it. Now that you've said Circus Carnival, though, Lamar, don't you kind of want these pay-as-you-want movies to be intense?
I do. Extremely intense and good. Like Kevin Spacey intense. They have to be.
I just love the idea of like somebody coming down to the fairgrounds and being like, I'm showing my movie. Pay what you want.
But we've entered the age where that's possible, because keep in mind, one of the original benefits for it used to be that all the power was in the distribution. That's why the three networks could wield extraordinarily control. That's why music labels could have so much control. They could make stars, and nowadays they can't make stars, but it's just up to folks to tour around with their little pet projects just like this. I think it's great.
And don't forget just a minor extension. Don't forget the BitTorrent bundle effect too, which that's been around for like a year and a half now, I think, maybe 2 years, and it hasn't really caught on. It's waiting for its moment. I'm not sure if this is going to be it or not, but it's a great way to say, look, I'm going to take your money, however much you want to give me, and I'll be able to keep most of it because I'm not going to be paying for a server to host the bandwidth for this. For somebody like David Cross, it's like, I'm just going to do this on my own, distribution DIY. You just put it out there. BitTorrent takes care of the rest. There's no rental, no servers, no nothing.
Also, if you take a look at the trailer for Hits, the main character is the same guy who was one of the main characters of Dog Bites Man, which I was singing the praises of before we went live.
Also, Michael Cera's in it. Julia Stiles is in it. It's got real actors.
Real people.
Real people. Actual human beings are in it.
Thank goodness.
Hey, Tableau previewed new apps for Roku, Android TV, and Fire TV at CES. Tableau is, of course, the DVR. You have to provide your own USB hard drive, and then you can put it wherever the best reception is, and it sends the video over the internet to your device, like your Roku, etc. Roku app should come to users by the end of March, the new upgraded one. They already have one, but a better one. They also showed off Tableau Metro DVR with tiny built-in antennas. For folks who live within 25 miles of a television tower, it should work without having to put an antenna up. That one's also expected in March for $249.
I'll believe if it can get my ABC and my Fox, I'm in. But we'll see.
I think they should send you one to try out, because I would love to know if it works.
Tableau,
well, we ended up spending some of our sweet Patreon money on getting a Tableau. Ultimately, the extra hurdle of just like, I fully intended to go out and get an external hard drive for it, but I never got around to doing it. So now it lives with Zach. Zach, how are you liking it so far? Have you used it?
I have used it, and my problem with it mainly was just the interface. I mean, it recorded things beautifully, but getting it to actually play things through the internet, through my box, into my TV and everything, was very clunky. And I'm hoping with this Roku app that they fix that issue and it's no longer going to be as clunky as it is by itself. Because Roku is designed to make things easier and more pleasant, and hopefully they learned that lesson with this.
Well, all right, right on.
All right, so let's see what's under surveillance then.
That would be things that are being watched, Tom. That's what's under surveillance.
Us. Real human beings. Actual human beings. All right, bunch of things newsy-wise before we talk about what we've been watching. All the episodes in Daredevil will be available on Netflix in all territories in which Netflix operates April 10th. This is the series based on the Frank Miller Man Without Fear run of the Daredevil comic.
Is this part of, and forgive me for not knowing already, but is this part of the run, we had heard, we talked about earlier this year?
This is part of the Marvel Netflix deal, yes.
Got it. Awesome. Dude, very excited to see Daredevil get his due. And Daredevil not be a Ben Affleck version of Daredevil.
Lamar Wilson, excited or not excited about Daredevil on Netflix?
I had no idea it was even a thing. So yes, I'm excited. I'm actually I'm logging in now. Just wait. Can you get it now or is it
April 10th?
Oh well, I won't be logging in now then.
Yeah, unfortunately though,
you won't find it.
I'm going to be a little distracted. I better watch it exactly on April 10th because 2 days later I'm going to be a wee bit distracted with other releases.
Lamar's going to have to make sure his grandma's got things straight because Game of Thrones returns.
She better not cancel the cable.
April 12th. Also, Silicon Valley and Veep are premiering on that day as well. April 12th for Game of Thrones. And don't forget that there was the leaked memo that implied that HBO's new internet-only service would also launch in time to watch Game of Thrones. So we might be seeing that launch happening before April 12th.
That's huge, man, because Silicon Valley is a great show. Veep is a great show. Of course, Game of Thrones is extraordinary. And of course, if HBO were to release its service, it would be revolutionary. The center of the universe, the supermassive black hole of our attention, could be HBO at the beginning of April.
Also, 2 episodes from Season 4 of Game of Thrones are going to be shown in select IMAX theaters January 23rd through the 29th. You have to go to IMAX.com to find information on screening. Also, it has a sneak peek trailer of season 5.
You know, I would do that. Like,
Yeah?
I don't like going to the theater, but for something like this, I love IMAX completely. I'd pay the money for it, whatever, $15-$20.
Oh my gosh! Well,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, the Alamo Drafthouse here in Austin will oftentimes just show. I think technically they can't say that you're paying to watch the show. For example, like the Breaking Bad finale, they would just be hosting a party where the TV would happen to be on, and you could buy drinks, and there was a admittance fee to the party or whatever it is. But like, there is some kind of electricity about being there at the moment that it gets shown, and to be able to participate in those moments with everyone else really electrifies everything.
Are you electrified by Fox ordering a pilot for a Minority Report TV series that takes place 10 years after the film?
I am. I actually thought Minority Report was really good. And I don't know if that is a dumb or a bad thing for me to feel, but I really liked it. I think that I think if it was a good movie, and I think it was a good story, and I'd like to experience more of that world. I'm in.
It's one of the precogs after they've been removed from precogging, helps out a detective.
Oh, this is great. So it's like...
So it's a buddy cop thing.
Oh, that's very cool. I'm in.
I don't know if it's a buddy cop.
No, I'm in.
It definitely has the precog in there.
I hope I hope it's a precog that left and wants to pursue his original dream of being a stand-up comedian, but gets drawn into solving crimes. Like his super talent is while he's on stage, he knows the exact most hurtful thing to say to any heckler. So it's just like, you're like, hey, nice joke, jerk. And you're just like, that lump is cancer. And he's like, ah.
Yeah, that sounds like it should be on Crackle, not Fox.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And finally, for fans of historical Japanese television, Marvel is posting episodes of the Japanese Spider-Man, which features Takuya Yamashiro in his giant robot Leopardon, which predated the Power Rangers, I might point out.
Are you serious? Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Dude, hosted by Marvel. In fact, actually, the trailer for it has been hosted by Marvel.com for 2 years now. Like, I think it was 2012. They posted the trailer on their YouTube channel. It's crazy, man. Hey, have you ever seen any of the clips from it? It's the shocked expression on Lamar's face. No,
I like the rock band singing their Spider-Man boogie song, all wearing San Francisco 49er shirts.
I'm immediately going to watch this.
It's amazing, dude. It's Spider-Man piloting a giant robot with superpowers, and if I remember correctly, and forgive me if I didn't vet this before I'm reporting it, but if I remember the story that I heard, they lost or damaged or screwed up the giant robot in the first episode. So as a result, the entire series long, they only kept replaying what little footage they had of the giant robot that they had to like cut and all these things. I forgive me if that's totally wrong and apocryphal.
And the thing that I know is true, though, is that they are showing these on the Marvel site in support of the current Spider-Man run, where Spider-Man has called all of the alternate universe Spider-Man that have ever existed to help him, and Takuya Yamashiro is one of them.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, come on.
Okay,
come on.
This is just cheesy enough for me to enjoy the hell out of this.
It's amazing, dude.
Spider-Man, let's go!
Oh, yes!
He's defeating Professor Monster, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the series.
Oh, God!
Spider-Man busts out a machine gun and just starts slaughtering people.
Yeah. This Spider-Man was not like some young, angsty teen.
He just cut a cat in half.
This is better than Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah, by far.
All right, so just search for Japanese Spider-Man if you want to see this. Freaking amazing.
I will
dude.
have links in the show notes as well. Thank you, Theater Monkey.
God.
All right, we will talk about Marco Polo in Spoiler in Time. I've been catching up on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which has had new episodes on Netflix for a while, but I finally got around to them. I tried a little viewing of the FYI network, which they don't make you log in and verify they have a cable subscription on the Apple TV. And so I watched an episode of Tiny House Hunting, where people look for 400 square foot houses. It's kind of interesting. And Late Night Chef Fight, where one of them was a Michelin star chef, but like top chefs have to make food in a food truck. And they can only use the equipment that's in the food truck. That one was more interesting. Also watched Predestination with Ethan Hawke, which is in theaters and available online right now, so you can watch it at home, and it's based on the All You Zombies short story by Robert Heinlein. Really well done. It is a time travel movie that keeps the time travel consistent. I also watched Boyhood, which you can rent now on Apple TV, and that was fantastic. Richard Linklater movie shot over 12 years. The entire cast ages naturally through the movie. We'll talk about The Shield. I watched Mozart in the Jungle. Maybe, I don't know. It was all right. I don't have much more to say about that. And finally, I want to talk about Agent Carter, which premiered. I watched it over the air on ABC and was fantastic. Just nailed it. Anybody who enjoys the Marvel Universe, you've got to watch Agent Carter.
I tried to get my daughter to watch it with me today, and I didn't want to watch it without her, so instead I spent that time getting caught up on Marco Polo and also watching Archer, both of which we'll talk about in Spoiler in Time. But universally, I looked at the IMDb, and it's the ratings were huge off the charts, which is surprising because the marketing looks a little bit cheesy. Looked like a Carmen Sandiego type.
No,
thing
I think it's
on.
much better than the marketing makes it look for.
I didn't watch it because I normally don't judge things off the trailers, but I saw the trailer and it was horrible. It felt like it was like I said this on Twitter and I got some heat for it. I felt like it was gonna be a women's empowerment show, which is nothing wrong with that. But like set in the 50s, it seemed like it would be slow. Like no offense, Mad Men, which I'm not really into, but I've heard quite differently, so I guess I will check it out.
You're right that it is a women's
right?
empowerment show, but not in that Mad Men way at all.
Okay.
Well, and plus also like that's a weird, if your goal is to provide, a show about women's empowerment, like setting it in one of the most misogynistic periods of human history is an odd thing to do. Although I do like the idea. I understand Tony Stark's father, Howard Stark, is in it prominently, right? This is brilliant because how do you take the most popular character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and figure out a way to get him on television and reinvent him from scratch? You take his dad, which is technically a different character, but can be, I assume, played very similarly. I'm making a lot of guesses.
Well, it's the same Howard Stark that you saw in the Captain America movie.
The same actor and everything.
The first thing you see is Steve Rogers. They
that's great.
Without making it feel like a gratuitous clip show, they use the Captain America footage, I thought, quite well. And the way they get to the women's empowerment issue is perfectly natural, too. It's the end of the war. All the women are being sent home from the factories. Boys are home. Time for you guys to go back and be housewives again. And that is a real historical event that caused a lot of friction and consternation. So it's the perfect time for all of this, and it's so well executed.
Dude, Gaucham in the chat says the perfect thing to get me in. He says, if you like the first Captain America movie, you will love Agent Carter. I adored the first Captain America movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically more of that, but without Cap.
That's awesome. So I watched a bunch of movies that I had seen before. I rewatched, continue to watch Cowboy Bebop with my daughter. We're now in the last 3 or 4 episodes, so we started watching the Cowboy Bebop movie. All of that continues to be excellent. Finally watched How to Train Your Dragon 2 with Bonnie. Continued my report from before stands. I spent half the movie crying again. Only it was awesome to look over and see Bonnie crying. Really? It's fantastic. It's so good. I
haven't seen the first one yet.
It is okay. First of all, punch yourself in the face 3 times right now. Here. It's the only way to make things right.
1, 2, 3. Right.
Watch both of them. Both movies are extraordinary, and it's one of the few cases where the second movie is, I believe, even better than the first. Per our commitment to checking out because the producer of it is a fan of the show. I shared Quick Draw with Bonnie. Unfortunately, the second episode wasn't as good as the first episode. You know that you and I both deeply loved the first episode. Second one was a little bit hit or miss. There was a couple of really good laughs. I wish there were more. And I continue with my addiction to The Prophet, although now I'm in trouble if I watch it without Bonnie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Lamar, what have you been watching, man?
Before I answer that, I noticed. Did you say anything about Continuum? Because I saw that in your list.
Oh yeah, I'm watching that on Netflix as well. I've been trying to catch up on that slowly for a long time.
I thought the new episodes were out. I got scared for a moment. So.
No,
okay.
this is the last season 3, I guess.
Okay, because I love that show, so I don't want to miss it.
Nope, it's not back yet.
So because of all of my Twitch watching over the last 6 weeks, I was severely behind on TV, and I still am. I still haven't caught up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I was gonna say Alice in Wonderland. What's that?
Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. Yeah.
That fairy tale bull crap.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still behind on those, but I caught up on Arrow season 2, so I can get. So then I could watch The Flash because I knew I would have been off there. The Flash, I've got to say, is probably the best series I've seen this year, and Arrow I love, but I got to say I think Flash is a little bit better. It's not. Both of those shows are exactly the opposite of what Smallville was. So
yes,
and they're faster. They get to the point. The character development is awesome, and I'm just really enjoying the side-by-side team up. You have some cross episodes that happen between those two, sure. And I'm in love. Like I think CW is killing it right now. So
awesome.
Those are my and then during Christmas I also binge watch a kids show called Marvel's Superhero Squad.
Oh, dude,
it was fantastic.
I can't bring myself to watch it. It's too weird. Seeing them as like Super Friends is too odd for me.
It is so good. Like the second season is even better. You got Silver Surfer turning evil, and it's a silly show, but it is really well written. I enjoyed the crap out of that. So
all right, before we get out of here, I want to mention one more thing. It's not something I watched so much, although it was on while I was around doing stuff. Again, Eileen not turning on the cable during the day on Sunday after we had watched Boyhood and Predestination at home online without a cable subscription. We rented them. We rented one through Amazon and the other through Apple TV. She started watching YouTube videos over Chromecast of the Hollywood Reporter roundtables with all these amazing actors and directors just talking to each other. So the director's table was the best one. You had Richard Linklater, Christopher Nolan. I wish I could remember all of the people that were around this table.
A-list talent, though.
But yeah, definitely A-list talent. The actors table had like Benedict Cumberbatch and Ethan Hawke and, all of these leading men. The actress table had, Amy Adams and Laura Dern and people like that. And they were just really fascinating and really well produced. The kind of thing that's what Bravo used to do back in the day, where you had high quality, well produced, putting in the trailer footage at the right time, putting little pop-ups up on the screen to kind of, give you a little extra fact about what that person was talking about at the right time. And I'm like, yeah, see, you can watch these amazing things. Don't have to have the cable subscription.
Man, we're running behind. You want to just jump right into the movie draft?
Yeah, we should quickly acknowledge the movie draft.
By the way, there is a bit of a I don't want to say controversy, but there is a bit of excitement to this. Surprisingly, I'm in first place right now, and of course, Scott's in second place. A distant third is Tom, and then Brett, John, and Justin. So I think it's safe to say that it's really a game between me and Scott, but the only question is whether or not there'll be an asterisk after my victory, because right now I'm, 15 million ahead of Scott, but that is with Scott being listed with Selma. In reality, he has the interview, but the only question is the interview. Do we count the online sales, which of course by the rules of the game we do not. So regardless, by the rules of the game, I'm ahead of Scott no matter how you count it. However, I'm hoping that The Hobbit continues to pull in just a little bit more money per week to where it gets far enough ahead to where even if you did count the online sales for the interview, that there would be no question about it.
And of course, coming out this week, Black Hat, a hacker movie that no actual hacker will probably enjoy. Paddington, which no actual stuffed animal will enjoy. And The Wedding Ringer, which looks pretty funny, actually.
Right on, man.
And those are all, what are they? All no. Wedding Ringer is Brett Rounceville's, and the other two are Justin Robert Young's. All right, let's get to some dispatches from the front.
Yeah.
Dispatches?
Are they from the front?
Dispatches. Adam Jaques writes, "Hey guys, is Spoiler in Time strictly for shows that you are currently watching, or can we make special requests? I love listening to Spoiler in Time as I like a TV digest. I don't really have or necessarily want to have time to watch some shows, and Spoiler in Time is like my Cliff Notes to popular TV. Long story short, I love being spoiled. If requests are granted, then please spoil for me Lost. I've only watched up to season 3, and although I don't particularly want to watch the rest of the seasons, I would like to know how it ends."
Man,
no one knows how it ends. So there you go.
This is like the opposite of every other email we ever get.
I know. I love it. I love it for that. I'll tell you what, man, in order to do this right, I feel like we'd have to watch it again. And I don't know that I have the bandwidth to watch it again right now. But in the future, who's to say? I will say that that I have the unpopular opinion of having loved the way the series ended. I loved everything about it. I thought it was all good. I thought even all the Lindelof stuff was great. I thought it was really, really good.
Once I'm caught up with The Shield, which I'm halfway through right now, I'd be game for putting it up for a fan vote. Like, what should we work through next?
Yeah, dude, I'm down for that. The Geeky Brit writes us saying a couple of thoughts from the last show. Didn't feel justified in sending a message without being a patron, so here I am. Also, I was disappointed to hear that not being a patron put me in the majority of your listeners, so I'm proud to be part of the minority group, by which I assume he means he's in the minority by being one of our bosses, which we think is awesome. On the subject of Sling TV service, if a similar service was available in Canada, it would boost my chances of cord cutting over 80%. That's highly scientific sounding. My wife just wants to be able to turn on the TV and watch. She doesn't want to choose the programming. We have Netflix, but even going through that menu can be frustrating, and using the internal network becomes frustrating with quality glitches and buffering. Totally agree with all of that. Also, Brian, with being one of your latest bosses, I need you to change your schedule. I fly to England on January 19th, so please change your Hacking the System premiere to January the 18th. Thanks. I'll tell you what, there's a miraculous technology called digital video recording that allows you to time shift, as they say, that will let you see that when you get back home.
Then Kirk suggests that we change the name of the Gear Up section to Cordkillers.
It's pretty good. It's pretty clever. I don't know.
Pretty high concept there, Kirk.
I
don't know.
Hey, so two more important ones. We asked for lawyers to chime in on whether or not the phrasing of breaking the law was appropriate, or whether or not you were committing a crime by using VPN. Over Twitter, it was a massive response. Some people who were lawyers, some people who weren't, says depends on the terms of service. The only email we got was from Alan, who I believe is not a lawyer, says, unfortunately, the government and studios interpret the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, a predecessor to the DMCA, such that violating your terms of service can be a criminal act. The wording is, quote, no person shall circumvent a technological measure that effectively controls access to a work protected under this title. Kind of what a VPN does when you use it to watch content in a region where it's not available. He gives a link to Cornell, and he points out that this is how they threw the book at the wall at Aaron Schwartz, which is, of course, a tragic story right there. And then a friend of the show, Dave Warner from whatyoupayforsports.com, says that he has a handy guide for whether or not Sling TV is right for you. Perhaps you and your viewers might find it interesting. If you go to whatyoupayforsports.com, just look for Is Sling TV Right for You, a guide for potential cord cutters. He breaks down, like, here's who it's good for, here's who it's not good for. I think it's really good insight, as always, from a friend of the show.
Finally, Belissa said, this may be parsing things too finely, but I wanted to comment that we almost bought one of the Hisense TVs with Roku built in. My non-techie husband was at the store and called me to discuss what to buy. He said the box indicated that the TV comes with a Roku stick. instead of having the software built into the TV. It was $30 to $40 more than the same size Hisense TV without the Roku, which is what we ended up buying. Our model only has 3 HDMI ports. If the Roku version is the same, that leaves 2 open ports. I guess you get what you pay for. It seems like this is only worth it if you don't have a Roku already, and if then, only marginally. I wanted the software actually built in to make it easier for my non-techie hubby. We already have 2 Roku boxes. Belisa, yes, I imagine there are plenty of models of TVs out there that do that. There are also other models that have it built in to the TV as well. And I haven't looked to find out which ones are which, but interesting report back on the Hisense TV. Thanks for that.
As always, if we didn't get to your email, apologies. I do read all of those, usually the day of the show. Write an email into cordkillers@gmail.com, and I will try to write you back or talk about it on the show. But more importantly, check out youtube.com/ is it Lamar Wilson, L-M-A-R-R?
It is indeed, man. Thank you.
And
yeah, go watch it. Go subscribe. That's what the
do
YouTubers
it.
need. They need your subscriptions. It's easy.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. Think about this. Like, if you're like, oh, I don't really use this subscription feature. I don't really check my feed. All the more reason. It won't cost you nothing. Just click on it, and it makes a huge difference to help Lamar out with advertisers and helping build his channel.
Also watch the shows because they're really good.
Yes. Well, I guess that too. If you like insight from a witty and funny person, then great. Go for it.
Especially tomorrow, because I just saw a text message I got in, and my Amazon Echo is sitting at UPS store waiting for me.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Is it going to be a haul?
Well, it's just one thing, so I don't have to haul it too hard.
You can't do a haul. It's just one
It'll
thing,
be an
right?
unboxing. And I'm going to test it out. I'm actually very excited about it. Yeah.
All right, well, that is it for Cord Killers. You can find us at cordkillers.com anytime you want, as long as your internet's working. We do stream the show live when we record it on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain. That's it. I'm only doing North America. The rest of you can convert it on your own. You can email it, cordkillers@gmail.com, and we will talk to you next time.
Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.